Hey guys, Rocket here. It's been a while. I'm still on my quest to play licensed video games in hope of finding those rare gems that go above their bargain bin brethren. So far, I've been primarily focusing on licensed games based on Western cartoons. So I figured it's about time I expand my horizons. That's right, it's time to talk about Japanese cartoons. I mean, why not? Anime video games are pretty much as old as the medium itself, which is unsurprising given their shared origins. Now, there's a lot of anime to pick from, but I want to cover something I'm a bit more familiar with. Naruto. Why Naruto exactly? Well, I like the color orange. But which game to start with? A lot of the games tend to just be adaptations of the main story over and over again, which is fine. Heck, most of my knowledge of Naruto actually comes from these games. Shout out to the Ninja Storm series. But I wanted to look at something with its own original tale to tell, for better or for worse. Which brings us to the subject for today.
Naruto! Path of the Ninja 2!
If you believe it. Here I am with my ninja clan. Ninja clan, here we stand. Naruto, I'm on my way. Naruto, I'll be okay.
Naruto Path of the Ninja 2 was released on October 15th in 2008 for the Nintendo DS. In North America, that is. This game is actually the third installment of the Naruto RPG series on the Game Boy Advance and DS, which were released between 2004 and 2006 in Japan. The first game covers till the end of the Chunin exams, while the second game covers till the end of the Sasuke rescue mission arc, and the final game, which had caught up to the anime at that point, just did its own thing. Meanwhile, Naruto didn't hit the West until late 2005, and after its success, they wanted to port some of the old games to capitalize on the new market. Since we were well into the DS era by that point, they ported the first game in the series to the DS under the new title, Naruto Path of the Ninja, and then, for whatever reason, they skipped over to the sequel and went straight to the third game. So, to summarize, this is the second game of the series, but also the fifth game of the series, while being the third game in the series. It's also the sequel to the fourth game of the series, that's the first game of the series. Understood? Me either. Enough backstory. What's this game all about anyway? Well, if you were paying attention, it's an RPG. The game opens at the
Valley of Great Evil,
where three mysterious characters are working on breaking some kind of seal. These guys are Gensho, Jako, and Rakaku. Now, initially, I thought that these were new original villains for this game, but they actually come from the anime, which most fans of Naruto probably don't even recognize since they only show up in one filler episode where they have a score to settle with Might Guy. Here, they are a generic evil group who are planning to take over the world by releasing the Great Spirit Beast from the aptly named
Valley of Great Evil,
which is the ability to turn anyone Before anyone gets upset about them messing up these characters, turns out Naruto RPG 3 actually predates their anime appearance by a whole month in Japan. Well, the inverse is true in America, as their anime debut predates Path of the Ninja 2. Though, honestly, none of this matters since they're just filler characters. Anyway, the only way to stop them is to collect the 5 Hope Mirrors, one of which is entrusted to Nazuna by her grandfather, before he is overcome by evil spirits and falls to his death.
Now I am the dead. Blech.
With nowhere else to go, Nazuna flees. And where does she end up? None other than the Hidden Leaf Village, and runs into Team 7, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke Kakashi, who have just returned from a mission. Naruto becomes immediately smitten with her, but before anything can happen, Rakaku and his henchmen appear, attempting to seize the mirror from Nazuna. Naruto intervenes, leading to the game's tutorial fight, which means this is probably a good time to talk about the game's combat. We've got a pretty standard turn-based system here. You've got your standard attack, defend, summons, items, and special moves called jutsus. The main gimmick that sets this game apart is the grid-based battlefields. You can freely move your character around during your turn, and depending on what spot you're in, depends on what bonus effects they have. For example, characters in the front deal more damage but also take more damage, where the opposite is true for those in the back. Additionally, jutsu attacks tend to have an area of effect, letting you hit multiple foes at once. Just remember that goes both ways. Finally, you get special bonuses by arranging your team in certain formations that grant extra effects. So you need to keep in mind if it's better to be closer together or more spread apart. It might seem like a lot, but the standard enemies aren't too much trouble. Though some of the boss fights can be a little more challenging. That just about covers the basics. Now back to the story. After successfully repelling the attackers, Kakashi instructs Naruto and Sakura to bring Nazuna to Lady Tsunade. Now if you only played the first game, you wouldn't know who that is. In fact, there's a lot you wouldn't know, like why Sasuke is missing. These things don't affect your understanding of the story that much, but it makes you wonder why they didn't localize the second game.
Who are you people?
Upon meeting with Lady Tsunade, Nazuna explains that the seal holding the Great Spirit Beast has been broken. She doesn't believe her at first, but then Jiraiya shows up to fact-check her statement. Seems it's legit. Since she can't be bothered to ask anyone else more qualified to look into this, she decides to let Naruto and Sakura deal with it. Jiraiya also tags along, because he doesn't have anything better to do. Nazuna leads the group through the Hidden Leaf Forest to the entrance of the
Valley of Great Evil.
and they end up at a dead end. Nazuna then reveals, much to the surprise of Naruto and Sakura, this is a hidden passage. I don't know why this would come as a surprise to anyone living in a world of literal ninjas, but oh well. To be fair, they did grow up in the Hidden Leaf Village, and that place is just out in the open. Back to that hidden passage. In order to reveal the secret, you must light these two conveniently placed torches. Genius! No one would ever think to do that. This leads to what I like to call a DS moment, where the game reminds you that you are in fact playing a DS game. It's got all these handy features and you're going to use them, gosh darn it. In this case, you need to blow into the mic to light the torches. If you fail to do it within the time limit, the game will continue as normal and play a comedic scene of you failing. Huh, that's one way to handle the Force gimmick, and it got a chuckle out of me, so props to that. Now that the path is open, we can head on in. But this isn't just some random cave. This is a high-speed map. These short, side-scrolling auto-runner segments show up every now and then as you explore the overworld. They work as a way to emphasize the great distance between areas. You just run to the end, avoiding enemies and collecting items along the way. Or you can just do nothing, since you can't fail these. They kind of feel like glorified loading screen minigames. But you do get to see the classic Naruto run in all its glory, and that alone justifies its existence. After bravely running through that cave, blindly kicking and screaming, the gang arrives at Nazuna's hometown to find it's completely abandoned. As a side note, why would anyone choose to live at a place called the
Valley of Great Evil?
anyway? Seems like you're just tempting fate at that point. Maybe it gets a lot of tourists or something. Anyway, they decide to check out the place where the Great Spirit Beast is sealed to find it a bit less sealed than advertised, along with a bunch of evil spirits pouring out. Jiraiya surmises that said evil spirits will be at the Hidden Leaf Village in about a week. A week? How? We walked over here in like 10 minutes tops. Before the gang can make their way back to inform Lady Tsunade of the snail-paced threat, the main bad guys show up and try to stop us and reveal their evil plan. And then they just let us leave. Well, thanks for sharing, I guess. 1 week-long trek back to the Hidden Leaf Village later, our new mission is clear. Hunt down the 4 remaining Hope Mirrors and seal away the beast. Knowing the importance of this mission, with the fate of the world at stake, Lady Tsunade decides it would be best to just have Naruto and Sakura handle it. I mean, it's been working well enough so far. Of course, it would be irresponsible to leave the fate of the world to 2 children. That's why she also assigns some backup. 3 other kids who happen to be passing by. That's why she's the Hokage. Now that we have more party members, we can finally customize our team. Your squad consists of 3 active party members, along with 1 backup member who can jump in when things get dicey, or they can be swapped in freely whenever. You can also designate 1 party member to be the squad leader. As the leader, everyone has their own unique leader effect. They can either be in combat or out of combat effects. For example, Naruto's ability increases attack power in exchange for defense, while Sakura possesses a valuable ability to regain everyone's stamina while walking. With our squad officially assembled, it's time to get down to business and investigate the Sulphurous Valley. Why there? Because Nazuna's grandpa said not to go there, and that's as good as a lead as any. Once we have made our way there, we find it's yet another dead end. Naruto asks Shikamaru what they're gonna do. That's when Shikamaru makes the brilliant 300 IQ deduction that maybe the secret resting place of the magic sealing mirror thing might be, you know, hidden. Good thing we had this genius level intellect, or I don't know what we would have done. After looking for an extra 3 seconds, we find a clearly marked boulder. In order to get past it, Choji shows off his bowling ball impression, giving us access to the secret tunnel! Inside is a pretty standard dungeon, filled with random encounters and very mild puzzles, involving pulling switches to unlock bridges. Nothing you haven't seen before. As we get closer to the end, there's a situation that gives Shikamaru a chance to show off his shadow possession jutsu, in order to control a conveniently placed dog located on the other side of the chasm, which is then used to pull a switch causing a bridge to appear. Now you might be wondering,
what the dog doing?
Why is there a dog in the sealed cave hiding a dangerous and powerful artifact? Well, why are you asking questions the developers themselves never dared to ask? Just as Naruto and the gang are about to find the mirror, they get ambushed by Rukaku, a boss fight occurs, only for him to effortlessly wipe the floor with everyone. He doesn't even need to lift a finger, or move any part of his body really. You'd think they would animate these guys who serve as the main antagonists, but I guess not. Either way, looks like this is the end.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Or not, since he just leaves? Bro didn't even take the mirror. My guy, us getting that mirror is the only thing that can stop your plan. And it's the thing you came all the way here for. What are you doing? A few hours later, once everyone regains consciousness, it's time to pick up right where we left off and go grab the mirror. Unfortunately, it's not so simple, because as soon as we touch the mirror, we get teleported to the past. Or I guess our memories, it's not really clear. This is where we get our first real boss fight against Haku and Zabuza. Yeah, so this game likes to reuse iconic fights from throughout the series for some of the major boss battles. Though, pretty sure they are just copy and pasted from the previous games. At least they're animated. Once Haku and Zabuza are out of the way, we've officially collected the second Hope Mirror. For the sake of time, I won't go into much detail about collecting the other 3 mirrors. Given that from here on out, every area follows a very similar pattern. You get a lead as to where the next mirror is, and head over there. You'll meet up with some new party members along the way and go through a short dungeon, solve some puzzles, and have a bit where one of those new party members gets to show off their special gimmick that helps you progress. You are also given special summon pets to help you access areas that were previously unavailable. They kind of work like HMs in the old Pokemon games. They can smash rocks, help you climb walls, or help cross various kinds of terrain. There are also moments where you'll run into one of the main villains who beat you up or gets beat up before they leave, followed by finding the mirror and having another boss fight, where we once again just relive a moment from the anime. The only real change is when you get to the area that has the last mirror. The cave guarding it has 2 entrances, meaning you need to explore it with 2 teams. So instead of joining your party right away, Gaara and his squad just explore the other side of the dungeon on their own. Pretty smart plan. You'll explore a bit with Naruto's team, get stuck, and then play as Gaara's team to go rescue yourself. Though at no point does Naruto's team do anything to assist Gaara's team, meaning this whole thing could have been avoided had they just gone through the same tunnel at the start. Then before reaching the end, they group back up, conveniently right before the big bad shows up for your routine bullying. Gaara, being new to the party and not really understanding the whole dynamic we got going on, just straight up murders the dude effortlessly with sand coffin and then chucks his corpse into the lava without a second thought. Good thing he's on our side. Also, something worth mentioning is that the boss fight for this mirror is a fight between Naruto and Sasuke, where you get to use Naruto's 9-tailed fox form to fight. I know that's what happens in the anime, and it's cool and all, but it just kinda came out of nowhere, and you don't even get to keep the form after this. Finally, we have managed to collect the 5 magic drink coasters or whatever. Turns out it's too late. The evil spirits are everywhere and are trying to take over the Hidden Leaf Village. Wait, it's already been a week? How much time did we spend unconscious after those guys beat us up? I guess we got beat up a couple times. Conveniently, this means all the adults have to stand around in a friendship circle or something to protect the town while you and your ragtag group of children go save the world from an unspeakable elder god. I guess this is an RPG after all. Spoilers ahead for a video game that came out in 2008. With the 5 sacred frisbees in hand, our team returns to the
Valley of Great Evil
to put a stop to the Great Spirit Beast once and for all. Upon arriving, they are greeted by one of the bad guys. It's then revealed he has Nazuna. Somehow. Guess she left the friendship circle or something? I don't know. The game doesn't feel the need to explain this, and I'm not going to do that either. However he did that, we've got no choice but to hand over the MacGuffins in exchange for everyone's favorite character. But it turns out you should never trust the bad guy, as he takes the mirrors and refuses to give back Nazuna. Whoops. To make matters worse, he seals the door behind him. In order to open the door and progress, you've got to hunt down these 4 orbs and fight the same boss 4 different times. Yay, filler! At least it's true to the source material. After 4 copy and pasted boss fights, we can finally put an end to the 2 remaining members of the evil group, Jako and Gensho, before they can complete their evil plan. Our first opponent is Jako, who, surprisingly, is defeated relatively easily. Afterwards, Gensho does the whole "you've outlived your usefulness" bit before delivering the finishing blow, ending Jako. He then starts going off about how power is all that matters and how friendship is lame and for losers, which is a pretty bad idea to do right in front of a shonen protagonist. Then, to show off the superpower of friendship, Naruto unleashes his 9-tailed fox power and solos Gensho 1v1. That'll show him. With one last Rasengan, we win and reclaim the 5 Hope Whatsits, and can perform the ritual to seal the Great Spirit Beast away, which doesn't work. I mean, I'm not surprised. Does anyone know even how to do that? Perhaps sending a bunch of children on this mission was a bad idea. Which brings us to the real final boss, Gensho, who is now fused with the Great Spirit Beast. I know he's the final boss and all, but he is a pretty big difficulty spike. He's got this stupid wave of negativity that inflicts the entire party with 3 to 5 status effects, which is something you almost never have to deal with throughout the entire game. You lose your attack, your speed, your defense, your turn, you're crippled, it steals your wallet, crashes your car, burns your crops, poisons your water supply, and delivers a plague unto your houses. It's just overall a very bad time. It's kinda stupid. But nothing being comically overleveled can't solve. But once he's been beaten, the world is saved. Congratulations! A winner is you! Peace has been restored to the
Valley of Great Evil.
Wait, do you think they're gonna need to change the name since the Great Evil is now gone? Perhaps the
Valley of Average Neutrality.
or something. Nah, it just doesn't hit the same. I wonder if it's gonna hurt their tourism. Well, with the Great Spirit Beast finally gone, the evil spirits are going away and the world is healing. Naruto and the gang leave the cave and are greeted by some of the villagers, along with Nazuto's grandfather,
And you're supposed to be dead.
I got better?
who turns out didn't die after falling off the cliff but got stuck on a branch where he was rescued by other villagers. I don't know, we're at the end of the game, I don't really care. Everyone then returns home after a job well done. That about wraps up the story. But that doesn't mean the game's over just yet. Once the credits are finished, the game opens back up with you talking to Lady Tsunade. She'll congratulate you on a job well done and tells you it's time for the real challenge. Wi-Fi battles. That's right, the whole story has just been a tutorial for the game's PvP. You even get your own custom character to use, though it would have been nice to get them at the start of the game, since they join at level 1. However, they aren't the only extra character either, as the main reason to do the Wi-Fi battles is to unlock even more characters. There is one slight problem though. The Nintendo Wi-Fi connection servers shut down like 10 years ago, so the only way to obtain these characters nowadays is by trading with someone who already has them. Good luck with that though. Luckily, Wi-Fi battles aren't the only way to get new characters. There are also Kumai battles. Think of it as a mission mode where you get to put your fighting skills to the test. There are 3 types to choose from: normal, limited, and survival. The normal one provides the most freedom, allowing you to select any character and utilize all your items, while limited restricts you to a specific set of characters and a limited selection of items, adding an extra layer of challenge. Lastly, survival tests your endurance as you fight for as long as you can, with the goal of surviving as many rounds as possible, with each new battle being harder than the last one. There are a lot of these battles to do, and they unlock throughout the story, but the game never really mentions them, so by the time I found out about it, I had already beaten the game, making most of these battles rather tedious. As I mentioned earlier, completing certain missions will unlock some characters, like the Sand Village trio, who don't stay in your party after beating the game. The most challenging one to unlock is definitely Zabuza, since you have to win 100 battles in Survival Kumai to unlock him. You can also get Kakashi or My Guy to join you simply by heading over to Kakashi's house in the postgame. Only one of them will join you, so choose wisely. And by wisely I mean Kakashi, as this is the only way to get him on your team, where My Guy and a few other characters have another way of unlocking them. If you talk to the honorable grandson of the 3rd Hokage during the postgame, you can enter certain passwords to unlock special items, missions, and characters. Though this doesn't include those you would need Wi-Fi battles to unlock. Technically you can do this at any time, but you can't use any of the rewards till the post-game. Speaking of special items, you can find tickets to the movie theater in town showing 3 Naruto movies along with Makeout Paradise. Though sadly you don't get to watch highly compressed versions of the movies, like with the GBA video. Instead you can see the reaction of the movie from various characters. Certain combinations of characters also have special dialogue. It's a fun way to see how some characters interact. Turns out Itachi and Kusume aren't too big fans of Makeout Paradise. Now, this is the part where I normally like to cover cut content and beta stuff, but I couldn't actually find anything about this game's development. So instead, I wanted to share something a little different. This game includes limited voice acting. If you're the kind of purist who doesn't enjoy the English voices, you can find a patched version of the game with the original Japanese cast. Though it turns out this version may be lost to time, since it was first uploaded back in 2009, and the download link doesn't work anymore, so I guess you're actually stuck with the English dub.
Sasuke! Sasuke!
I am An Avenger! Chubby's rule!
Although this game isn't really that great, it's definitely worth trying if you're a fan of Naruto. It's a rather short game taking only about 8 hours to beat, though it does have a variety of things that fans will enjoy, like being able to play as 30 different characters, or how it utilizes most of the characters during the main story, giving them brief moments to shine, before being relegated to the background, never to be seen again, just like the actual show. And that's all I got. Do you think you'll be giving this game a try? Or did you happen to play it when it first came out? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to tell me about some other licensed games worth checking out in the future. See ya! Oh, you're still here. Well, since you made it to the end, why not check out some other videos I've made? Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, so you don't miss out on future content. Though if you want some more content right now, you can go check out my Let's Play channel, Double Boost. I'll see you over there.
will make your dreams come true.